Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent here in the home office this morning to bring you an update on our threat of severe weather today and tomorrow. Now we have an elevated risk of severe weather today as compared to what we saw yesterday. Based on the trends overnight, the fact we're going to destabilize a little bit more today with the sunshine that we're seeing, and the fact that a lot of the storms that are out in Tennessee will be riding in and potentially bringing us some strong wind later on this afternoon. The Storm Prediction Center has increased our risk to that slight level. You can see right there, it's just the second level risk. So at this point, it looks like damaging wind, hail will be possible with any storms that develop, as well as even an isolated tornado. I hate that that's even a threat we have to talk about after everything we had to go through on Thursday, but it's certainly a potential. So we need to stay weather aware. Now, that one of the reasons I'm live this morning with an update is because I wanted to let you guys know that yesterday this threat didn't look as high. So, I know that many of you were thinking, okay, well, Saturday won't be so bad. Sunday's the big storm day. And I still think Sunday will bring the most widespread storms, but this is definitely going to be a day to be weather aware. And we talked about how there could be an isolated storm on Saturday, but Sunday be our better threat. Well, look at Sunday. It's a similar threat, another slight risk for severe weather, level 2 there. It's going to be with a line of storms that moves through. And I've got the latest Futurecast model to show you. But I tell you what, the models are still not handling this system all that well, honestly. So I'd say we need to kind of take the timing with a grain of salt and know that things could change through the day. But this is Sunday's threat. So both days we have that heightened risk for severe weather. Hey, Freddie, thanks for watching. Hi, Debbie. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for being on this morning. So here's 11 a.m. today. Most of the storm activity up in Tennessee, clouds moving in for us. And then notice what happens. Those storms dive into the mountains first, and we end up with some gusty winds perhaps along this line. But then there's a chance into the afternoon if you could get down into the upstate. Notice these little individual storms. We'll have to watch those if they can tap into much energy. And then we've got this in the back end here for the evening. It could bring some gusty wind as well into the mountains. There's 8 p.m. tonight, and then there's late tonight. So there's midnight. These are all basically storms that are riding along a warm frontal boundary that will eventually lift out of the area overnight. So most of the overnight looks clear. I don't think this is a situation where we're going to have late night storms to the point, 2, 3 in the morning where you or stay up all night hearing thunder. But we could have some into the evening. Dareen asking about easily. Pretty much all of us have a threat of severe weather. Greater threats can be the farther north you live. I think the mountains will have a little better threat than the upstate today. 85 corridor and north looks to see the worst storm activity. This is Sunday morning, and notice the timing here as the storms come into the mountains around 11 a.m. on Sunday. A pretty strong line there. And then we'll be pushing into the upstate about 2 p.m. I say pushing in, really right on top of the 85 corridor. But the timing differences with the models are still pretty significant. So this could be possibly as early as noon. It could be as late as 4 or 5 that we get this line of storms. And then it would be pushing out. So it looks like Sunday evening will be our calmest time of weather between now and then. So if you're just hopping on, I'm just going to kind of start this over, show you our new risk for today. And it's that level 2 risk. Before we were in this green, which is just a marginal. I say just a marginal. You can still see quite a bit of severe weather with that. But this level 2 risk, the slight risk, has been added because of the fact that we're going to destabilize a little bit more. We're going to have some energy pushing in from the west later on this morning into the afternoon. So we're going to have to watch that for the potential for damaging wind, hail, and can't rule out isolated tornadoes. Now here's tomorrow's threat, same level. So it's nothing insane. We're not talking about an expected outbreak of severe weather. We're talking level 2, which is one where you see scattered storms, but it's enough to where we really need to keep our guard up for that threat. All right, so There's a look at the RPM model. This is going to be at 11 a.m. today. So still generally calm in our area, but then those storms sweep into the mountains by about 2 p.m. Could have some gusty wind, possibly even an isolated tornado, but yeah, I still think that threat's going to be a very isolated threat today. We're considered on the lower end for that. It's going to be a better chance for tornadoes out to our west. What I will watch in the upstate will be these little isolated cells that develop into the afternoon. Those could potentially rotate, at least produce some hail or some gusty winds. And then there we go into the 8 o'clock hour. I don't think this will be as severe as it will be just rainy. And again, some models don't even have this happening, but we could end up with more storms into Saturday night, Sunday morning. But here's the big event. This is what we've been previewing and looked like the bigger threat for severe storms. And it still really is the main storm line of the weekend. That's going to be coming in on Sunday, or like late morning for the mountains. There's 11 a.m. And then here's 2 p.m. We've got this line right around the 85 corridor. And again, timing differences are there with the models. In fact, I can show you another one coming up in just a second, but notice how we clear by about 6 o'clock. Let's go farther down in my show real quick and see if I can pull in another model for you. So essentially, I need you to be on guard, weather ready during this entire weekend, especially during the afternoons. Here's the European model, and the time settings may not be right, so let's find out. I'm going into my show from last night. Yeah, this may not be. Yeah, it's not going to work. Let's open it up and see if I can pull in the other model information while we're on here. But Sharon's asking about tornadoes. I can do some Q&A while I'm trying to get this to load for me. I think that the tornado threat is going to be fairly small, not zero. I'd love to say it's going to be zero, but unfortunately, we're going to have at least a chance for some rotating storms. Whoops, here we go. Let's try to, that's not what it was. Somehow I think I just closed out. Oh, now I'm opening Outlook. Sorry about that, guys. This is a brand new laptop. So obviously I'm having some technical issues, but bottom line, there are some timing differences with the models, but this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon look like the busiest times for storms. So I need you to remain weather ready. Bob and I, along with Nicole, will be watching things closely this weekend, and we'll let you know if anything severe or tornadic develops. We'll be continuing to bring you updates Facebook Live. Nicole will have another update coming up at 11 o'clock. So be sure to tune in for that, because things continue to evolve, and we'll have more information on what you can expect. But again, we have a level 2 risk for severe weather for Saturday afternoon and for Sunday afternoon. Could even see a little bit into Saturday evening, depending on what computer model you believe. But anyway, we'll see you a little bit later on today. We'll continue to bring you updates. I'll have another update this early afternoon on how everything's starting to evolve, and we'll keep you posted. All right, bye.